Hello, hello. Welcome back. I am officially, let me try to adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, great. So I am officially back where all started from last year, back in my classroom. Today has been kind of like a planning and prep day for what has to take place in August. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Heather W. I am sharing all things back to school for the entire month of August, and I'm actually pushing myself to, I guess, kind of share my day to day for the entire month of August so you can see basically what all the projects that I'm prepping and working on. So I'm a full-time, now I'm an administrative coach. I officially left the classroom last year, but I still kind of, as you can see, I work in a classroom. I actually share this space with the gifted and talented teacher, as well as two other ESL teachers. This year we are adding a bilingual teacher, a bilingual Spanish-Arabic teacher, as well as a bilingual Arabic teacher. So I'm very excited. In the room behind us, which is next door, we have 3 other ESL teachers, so we are packed in this room. But let me show you I guess what I'm planning, and I want to do I think what I'm going to do to keep these short, because I want to give you like a nice day-to-day overview of what it's like for someone who's in my position to kind of reel in the classroom and slowly kind of prep everything, because I essentially only have the first 2 weeks of August to do all the prep work, because starting the 3rd week is when all the newly hired teachers return, and it's professional development from 8 to 4 every single day. And then we have the last week of August, or it's like the 4th week of August, sorry, because the 3rd week of August is when the new teachers return. The 4th week of August is when we have all the returning teachers come. My little coffee beverage. And when the returning teachers come, basically, it's just kind of like, hey, here's the curriculum for this year's classroom setup. Here's any new policies and procedures that, they go over the handbooks, etc. So that's a little different. But, so here's what I decided to do. Now, I do have a work planner that's coming in the mail. I'm gonna go over a little bit of like what the planning looks like for me. Maybe that'll give you some ideas on how you're going to start and get things ready for your classroom. So I just want to look at the camera really quick. Are we recording? Yes, we are recording. Good. All right, so I have decided that what I'm going to be using just for my day-to-day kind of like checklist kind of work is the Day Well Lived notepad, maybe just for the month of August. But I have 3 or 4 different styles of this same like formatted notepad. This is from the Daily Grind, and I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit. Here's I'll show you a blank page. So here's a blank page of what that looks like. So here is your top 10 goals. It's like almost like the task that you have to complete each day for those goals. Today's top 3 focus. This is your schedule for the day, and then a little gratitude writing and things that you're gonna do for yourself. So I'll show you how I kind of updated that for my use, and I went ahead. I set up just an hourly. I use like a washi tape. It's an hourly washi tape. I set up today's August 4th, 2026, and I set up my goals. I set up each task that has to be completed throughout the day. These are the top 3 focuses, and then of course, grateful and excited for, because I'm setting up everything for the year. But then I also realized that I'm gonna need 2 additional things to work on the planning. So that's what I'm gonna bring tomorrow, because I brought 1 big bag with me. I'm trying to slowly bring like a few bags here and there, but I realized I'm going to need a folio for work. A folio, like a small notebook. So let me show you what I've been using for the summer for any type of trainings and professional development. This is a folio that I got I'll show you, from Archer and Olive. So I've been using this folio to kind of like, as I'm going through my day of work, I'm taking notes here and there. It's a helpful folio. The only thing I don't like about this is that I'm not like, once I finish the folio, there's no pocket for me to like refill it. I'm just gonna have to like, I'll have like a loose, if I get another line folio paper to replace it, it's basically, it's just gonna be swinging around. It's not really gonna be held there. So I use this technically for like when I'm working on my TPT store. This is a lot of like a product development type of book for me. So I'm probably going to keep this as TPT and not mix it with work, which is what I've kind of been doing over the summer. But I just received an entire box. I'm gonna be unboxing it in this channel, hopefully this week if I have time. But I got all the new Daily Grind folios. I got the entire academia collection. So one of those Daily Grind folios will be for work, which is great. And then I realized I still need like one notebook that's gonna like, so when I go to meetings, how am I gonna take notes? Just something that's gonna be working for me. So I have two ideas. Let me show you what those look like. So I can use my trusted mind map from Planner Perfect. If you're new to my channel, I do have a link and a one-time 20% code, Cozy Creative, for any Planner Perfect product. And I love using Planner Perfect leathers and their journals. I'm more of the leather person. Like, I'll purchase more of the leathers. I'm not necessarily a journals collection kind of person, because a lot of the size journals you can buy in different places, some of them for $1, and they're just as good. But I definitely recommend, if you want something sturdy that's not gonna break, don't get it on Amazon. Like, you literally get what you pay for, and this is worth the purchase. But so in this mind map, I've been using this since last year. It's kind of like my big folio for work, and I think this is probably what I'm gonna be using. And let me show you why. So this is, I've been back and forth with this folio the entire summer. You could see I've been packing it with resources that I need. And then also this is, also, this is like a bunch of like stuff that we did for training. I was here for an entire week of PD, and this is where I just put all the worksheets they gave me. And then in terms of notes, because this folio, it's leather, but it's so sturdy that I actually used it for my planning. You could see I used it I used it to take notes for every session of our PD. The paper is not thick, so it's very like sturdy, and you can turn it. You can see it just gave me the chance to really like break down all the notes. And what I especially love more about the like a folio like this for my job is that, so once I finish with this notepad, I pull it out, I can purchase a new one. And there's one more goodie about this. So here's my day-to-day kind of planning notepad. It fits perfectly. So the idea, the concept behind this type of like big mind map folio, you can actually, if you're an iPad person, there's actually like folders inside here and in here that you can actually put your iPad. If you're a person who has to use an iPad for work, this is where it goes. So I'll probably be keeping and sticking with the mind map folio, just because I can use like the pockets inside as folders, and then I have a little notepad to write with, and everything stays in one place. And even then, let's say I didn't want the Day Well Lived notepad to fly around, I could just kind of like squeeze it in. It's very sturdy. The leather stretches, but it doesn't break and rip. And I found that like when I tried to cut corners and purchase it through Amazon, it's cheap. So that's here. But let me see, there's one more thing I'm gonna show you before I get through my day. I had to do a lot of printing this morning. So let's see. I'm trying to like make sure I stay out of camera. It is right now 11:38. So I had to spend I got here at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I just basically had to kind of almost move into this room. and just situate myself. I had to go through my big box and get my staples, my just all my supplies and just things, and set up slowly my desk area. It's already a mess. It's like I never left. But this is basically what I've been printing for the day. So I'll go over it with you because this is the first set of projects I have to do. I have not even printed. I have three or four presentations that I'm doing this whole summer, and 3 of them are in the first week of August, 1 is in the second week of August, and I travel between multiple campuses. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is tomorrow I'm gonna print all of the presentations and do all the editing and updating the data because they're all based on last year's data. And I have to redo it for this year's data. But here's what I'm gonna kind of start working on so far is the lesson planning for ESL. This is a 1-pager. I'll just give it to, I don't want to show you too much because it's my work, but basically it just helps the teachers if you're an ESL teacher or a bilingual teacher, I always want to give the teachers enough resources or like just support so that they know the logistics of lesson planning as an ESL teacher, whether you are new or whether you're returning to the classroom, because I like to do both. And best practices, I give them some tips and tricks on best practices in working with ESL classrooms. Best practices for pushing into the classroom, best practices for pull out lessons. I have a whole folder of like scope and sequences that I created and also other lesson plan resources that I've kind of compiled, and that's a whole lesson plan resource folder that they have access to. So this is a living document and it's all hyperlinked to supplemental resources for the teachers. And we have lesson plan template at this district. So, and the elementary, middle, and high school use it. So these are just a breakdown of the full lesson plan components. And then I also have a task list calendar that each teacher gets, and it's basically a yearly calendar, month by month, so that the teachers know, like, hey, September's back to school season, October is prep, December is 2 weeks, and we want to, and this is when parent conferences occur. It's just basically going over all those different like school calendar reminders for the teachers, so that in case, just to give them an extra layer of support so that they don't forget when things are due or when there's assessments and things like that. Here I am a sheltered English trainer. I attended multiple like professional developments to become a trainer, and this is a SIOP lesson planning reference page that I go over with the teachers in the beginning of the school year, and a good list of descriptions. So for me, I believe what I'm going to be focusing on this year, because we have, let me just make sure my phone doesn't ring. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to be going over multiple, I'm going to be doing like mini PDs for my teachers, because I feel like we don't have that like a good cohesive system of lesson planning down. And I think because if you're ESL, if you are instructional support, if you're a SPED teacher, the challenge we have is that we could have up to 10 to 20 different students with different levels of English or different levels of learning or different accommodations. And because of that, it makes it a little tricky to do like a one-shop system of a lesson planning sheet. You have to differentiate a lot, and I feel like that is where I feel like that's going to be the theme of this year, is no excuses and really supporting the teachers with differentiation. Because I feel like when we do PDs, the theory of education, I'm gonna do like this education, it's all the time, it's just kind of thrown out there, and the teachers are not really, I feel like, supported. It's kind of like, oh, hey, use positive framing. You do more, someone like if you're being observed and someone tells you use more positive framing in the classroom, you're going to do great. Or if you do more positive framing, this is the outcome of that lesson. And then the person walks away, and the teacher's probably thinking to themselves, what is positive framing? When do I use it? Why do I have to use it? What does it look like, feel like, sound like? So I feel like something that I'm going to be emphasizing throughout my lesson planning overviews with the teachers this year is I want them to know what scaffolding looks like, feels like, sounds like, why we do it. Well, first of all, what it is and why it's important and how we can help their students. I feel like we need to break down all of those different components of lesson planning for teachers. So more to that, I guess I just want to give you a brief overview of where my mind is going. And then this was a training I did with Support Ed. It's an on-demand course. It's scaffolding content instruction for English language learners. This is the workbook that comes with the training, but I'm going to be reviewing the book along with this workbook one more time before I do my professional development trainings for my teachers, because I just feel like, for me, I feel like if you're giving professional development and if you're also coaching teachers, you should be constantly developing yourself as a coach, as a leader, as an instructor. Like, you have to know what you're doing, and you can't just kind of, say it's like a one-time deal. I'm a coach, that's it. I don't have to keep learning, and I don't think that's true. This is our PD calendar for the summer. It is, how many? I think it's 10 pages. This is the New Jersey English Learner Placement Guidance. So this is a guidance document that I have to review, and I actually have to review all state documents in August before the school year begins. And what that document does is it gives me an overview and a breakdown of how we identify ESL students, in the classroom. So, there's a lot of different components that take place when we're identifying ESL students, such as home language survey, first language, second language, the language the student communicates from, how long they've been in the country, when did they arrive in the country, and of course, some other measures. And this is I have to go over all my documents, all my Q's and T's, because I need to know what to expect. So, I feel like that is that's like the big piece of what I've been working, what I'm gonna have to kind of break down. And this is the first piece to kind of slowly ease in and map out how I'm going to be working on this, which is why I think I need the folio so I can take all my notes. My folio's there. Yes, so let's go ahead. Let me look around. Let me walk you through our classroom, and let's see if we can. I'm gonna switch the camera over. So this is how the classroom looks. Believe it or not, oh my gosh, this is not even our supplies. I'm gonna turn my camera back around. Sorry, our supplies are in 2 different classrooms in the main building, which means, this means basically that I'm gonna have to, I think they're gonna slowly deliver the supplies to my classroom, to this classroom. And another big project that I have to do is I actually have to unpack and sort about 20 different boxes of just supplies. Curriculum hasn't even been delivered yet. The curriculum will be delivered probably right before school year begins. But supplies, I'm gonna have to actually, and I sort the supplies for the elementary, middle, and high school. So, all right, guys, that was 18 minutes of me just yapping and the whole back to school. I am determined to share every single day of August with you guys so that you guys can kind of just get the experience of what it's like to ease into the classroom. And maybe I'll be doing some unboxings with you guys. I'll also be posting some maybe decorating the classroom videos, and so you can see how we're setting up. And I am so excited just to be back here. It is good to get into the swing of the back to school season, but it's even more amazing to do it in more of slowly you're easing into it before the rush comes. So I'm very excited. I always love this time of year. So if you are new and you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe and notification bell. And I can't wait to share the rest of the school year with you guys. Bye.